And you too. I'm good to go? Okay. Welcome, everybody. For anybody who doesn't know me, my name is Reverend Angie Act, and I want to welcome you to our Fellowships of the Spirit and Santosha's spiritual worship service. Before we start, I just want to remind you, turn your cell phone off. If you haven't, I just turned mine off. And I wanted to ask, is there anybody that's here for the first time at a service like this? Yes. Okay, welcome. Welcome. We have a couple. Okay, so I just want to read you a little bit about what the service is about. So while spiritualism has been around for centuries, modern spiritualism began in 1848 in a small town in New York State. Spiritualism believes that life continues after the physical change called death, and that God is a loving God who wants only our greatest good. We are spiritual beings having an earthly experience as we learn lessons for our individual growth. Spiritualism firmly believes that change for the better is open to each of us, and that the ultimate expression of love is loving thy neighbor as thyself. And one of the things that we love about bringing everybody together at a service like this is you get to meet new people. So if you want to take a second and turn to somebody and just say hi. See, isn't that's the fun part, right? I love that part. Okay. So I'd like to open with prayer. Divine Spirit, we gather here this evening in peace and love. We ask you to be with us tonight and always, and guide us in the directions that are for the highest and best for each of ourselves, our loved ones, and everyone in the world. We also ask for your divine guidance in helping each of us to make decisions that will bring our world to a place of peace. Amen. And I'd like to now call up Becky Wisniewski, and Becky's going to do a reading for us.
This is called No Going Back. Sometimes during our spiritual growth, we can feel as if we are going backwards. Rest assured, you are not. There are times when we feel we are spinning our wheels in the mud in terms of our spiritual progress. This can be especially true following a period of major growth in which we feel as if we've gained a lot of ground. In fact, this is the way growth goes. Periods of intense forward movement give way to periods of what seem like stagnation. In those moments when we feel discouraged, it's helpful to remember that we don't ever really go backwards. It may be that we are at a standstill because there is a new obstacle in our path or a new layer to get through, but the hard work we have done cannot be undone. Every step on the path is meaningful, and even one that seems to take us backwards is a forward step in the sense that it is what we must do to move to the next level. In addition, an intense growth spurt requires that we rest for a time in order to fully integrate the new energies that have been liberated by our hard work. When we feel we are not making progress, we can encourage ourselves to take a moment to rest. We can meditate more, feed ourselves well, and get extra sleep. Before we know it, we will be spurred on to work towards the next level of our development, and this rest will make sense then as something we needed in order to continue. Once the sun rises, it doesn't go backwards, but instead follows its path in one direction. It may appear to stand still for a moment in time, or to move more slowly at some point or another, but really it is steadily moving forward on its path. We are the same way. And once we have moved through something, we can never really go back. We may be revisiting issues that seem old, but in truth, we are always taking the next important step forward on our path.
Thank you, Becky. I love that. Thanks. So I'd now like to call up Reverend Irene, and Irene's going to guide us into meditation and healing.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I love the idea that we can never really go back. It's beautiful. I'd like each of you to just clear your lap of anything that you're holding and just sit in a relaxed position, where you're very comfortable. And tonight I am going to do a meditation from this book called Healing. And it's a meditation where you actually meet your own divine self. And there'll be probably a minute of silence during the meditation, right? So close your eyes, make yourself comfortable, and start to feel your shoulders relaxing, right? And as you start to relax those shoulders, start doing some deep breathing. Breathing in an energy of renewal and letting go of, as you exhale at your own pace, any fatigue, hurry, cares. Just set them aside on a shelf. They can wait and they can take care of themselves for this time. This is your time to feel yourself at one, to let go of the physical and just be at peace. So I'd like you to take 2 more deep breaths, just in, feeling that fresh energy replacing that which has already served you. Just let it go. Letting go of the things of the day. And when you're ready, take a nice 3rd deep breath. Inhaling that energy of renewal. Slowly filling you up all the way to your collarbone. You feel yourself expanding. And then with each exhale, letting go, letting go, letting go. Using your visualization on the right side of your head, place yourself inside an elevator. The door closes and you feel going up. As you go up, you feel a lightness in your being. It's as though everything of the earth is falling away and you are becoming lighter and lighter. You feel every concern that you have ever had fall away from your mind. Every emotional disturbance is gone from your emotional body. You are becoming light, becoming light, becoming light. And you realize that you are light. And that light fills the inside of the elevator. You feel the elevator stop. The doors open and you step out into the vastness of forever. Around about you is every conceivable scene of beauty and light, and you are a part of that light. You feel yourself going forward. Before you, there stands a figure, glorious, radiant figure. And as you approach, it holds out its arms to you for an embrace. And it embraces you. And as you look up into its face, you see yourself. The radiance and the power of it seems to wrap around you, and you recognize that you are one with it. And as you are enfolded in its embrace, you feel yourself becoming consumed in it, a part of it, until there is nothing that separates the two of you. You have become one. You feel that oneness. You sense it in every part of your being. You feel yourself being drawn back to the elevator. You and your spirit self remain unified together. You step into the elevator, the doors close, and you are still in this great and wondrous light. And you feel the elevator going down, but the light does not diminish. Downward, the light still bright and pulsating. Downward, the light still bright, still filling your being. The elevator stops and you step off, and you are this beauteous light being. You come over and you sit back down in your seat, still radiant light. So continue to close your eyes. I invite you now again to connect to that beautiful white light and energy you carry within you. Now, bring that energy into your heart space. Breathe into your heart and feel that energy growing stronger and more beautiful. And now imagine someone in your life who could use some of this healing energy. Imagine that they are standing before you now, and you are sending this beautiful energy from your heart to them. Now imagine others in your life you'd like to share this healing energy with. And now imagine them before you and surround them with beautiful healing light coming from your heart. Now open your palms on your lap and imagine a globe of the earth between your hands. Now bring that globe of our world in front of your heart space and start sending the beautiful healing light from your heart all around the world, lingering where it's needed most. And now with your eyes still closed, send out to those on the absentee healing list as your loved ones' names are read, one by one. Melanie, Dale, Dave, Becky, Sharon and John, Victor and friend, Joan, Sharon, Chuck, Roseanne, Stephen, Gina, Gianna and Natalia, Bill, Andrea, Judy and family, Madison, Megan, Andy, Lance, Tyrone, Lori, Jamie, Angela, Mackenzie, Laura, Lindsay, Suello, Steve, Valletta, Amy, Scott, Regina, Paul, Sean, Melissa, Sully, Haley and Jenna, Andrew, Kat, Cindy, Joan, and Michelle. Know this healing light and energy will stay where you sent it. And knowing you made a difference, begin to bring yourself back. Wiggle your fingers and toes, shift your breathing, and open your eyes. Thanks. That was so beautiful as a group, sending healing. So what I'd like you to do is just take your order of service, and together we'll say that that number 4, prayer for spiritual healing. I ask the great unseen healing force to remove all obstructions from my mind and body and to restore me to perfect health. I ask this in all sincerity and honesty, and I will do my part. I ask the great unseen healing force to help both present and absent ones who are in need of help and to restore them to perfect health. I put my trust in the love and power in God. Thank you. And I give thanks for this beautiful healing power which each of us has tapped into and shared. And if you feel during the week, the need of it in our world, you can just remember what that felt like and just imagine it going out to the world. And know that energy will obey your heart's intention and your love, right? And help this world achieve balance. Thank you. So I invite the congregation to sing What a Wonderful World. And that is in your order of service.
Yes, we take turns. I agree with what Irene said. That was beautiful meditation and healing, and that's so true. You know, when we gather together anytime, you know, we can bring that energy down to our hearts and send it out to the world, and that's how we can make a difference. So, okay, so we've come to our speaker portion, and tonight we have a good friend of mine, Cassandra Joan Butler. And I just want to, and probably a good friend of many of you. So I just want to read you a little bit about her first. Cassandra Joan Butler has always been a seeker of truth, dedicated to help others. Her extraordinary background has bridged both worlds, the traditional and the mystical. She was blessed to have been born into a spiritual family where the tarot was done after dinner. Both grandmothers were healers and mystics, and Cassandra's mom identified her daughter's gift when she enrolled at the Cassandra, I think I got that right, School for the Gifted and Talented. She received a most incredible education from the Cassandra School. Her major at the accelerated program was religion and mythology. Cassandra attained her social work credentials from Cornell University and later received a master's degree from Syracuse University. The thread of her education was her studies in astrology and metaphysics. After studies in religion from McMaster's University, Cassandra eventually became a non-denominational minister. Actually, this is my thing didn't print right, Cassandra. To round out her desire to heal, Cassandra became a New York State licensed massage therapist, thereby linking all three venues of her healing for body, mind, and spirit. When Cassandra began her astrological counseling work in 1987, she built upon her counseling training and religious mythological background. The results were immediate and overwhelming as Cassandra was able to work full-time in her chosen field as an astrologer. And I give you Cassandra Joan Butler.
Well, aren't we lucky to be among our tribe this evening? Thank you so much, Angie. Thank you so much, Fellowships of the Spirit. It's so great to be here. Guess what I'm going to talk about today? I'll give you a little hint. It's all about perspective, friends, right? Oh, those are really dark. We got to put these on, right? Because the light's going to be so blinding on Monday. And I loved what the meditation we experienced with Irene, the idea that we are all bundles of incredible light. We're light beings. And that leads me to the solar eclipse. So, we wouldn't be here without that sun, right? I mean, our sun is our friend. The sun makes all life possible on the earth. And we know that. That's basic science 101. But what they didn't teach you in science, they don't know why. They didn't teach you this. They didn't teach you that this planet is the only planet that has eclipses. Think about that for a minute. Because the sun's diameter from our perspective and the moon's diameter from Earth's perspective is the same. Isn't that a lucky coincidence? Of course, I Googled this, and Dr. Google said, scientists can't figure this out. We can figure it out, we spiritualists. Because the message of the universe is that the moon, which is emotions, and the sun, which is our sense of self, are equivalent. Mind, body, and spirit. Because in astrology, this moon of ours in our charts, and up there orbiting the earth, represents emotions and feelings and the unconscious. And the sun represents naming and identity and who we are. So there's this blending in that moment of an eclipse. And there's two types of eclipses, of course, right? We have the lunar eclipse most recently on the 25th of March. That took place at 3 in the morning. Anyone see it? Sleep is better. And it wasn't that great. It was just a penumbral eclipse, which is a little shadowy eclipse. It wasn't a total eclipse. The last total lunar eclipse was on May 5th of 22. So we have different types of eclipses. But the whole world is agaga about this total solar eclipse. And when they're looking up, they're not quite spiritually knowing what they're experiencing, but they are yet going to be experiencing a spiritual experience. Because it's almost as if when you have a total eclipse, when the light is blotted out by the sun, you really, people report crying, they report having revelations of all sorts, but you really are in awe of nature's wonder. So I presume everyone in the room has their glasses. You're planning to watch it, maybe from anywhere, right? Doesn't have to be any place. Lilydale has some live activities down there. I have a retreat up in Stella Niagara. But wherever you might be, it doesn't matter. Even if you're not watching it, and trust me, many cultures and many religions and many spiritual traditions say don't watch the eclipse because it's so frightening. But I'm going to give you some how-tos or what ifs as you are experiencing this eclipse. So the how-to is make it real basic. The sun is obliterated. It's disappeared. I can't say it. My mouth is too fast. It disappears. And our forefathers and our foremothers, you can imagine they were terrified. Like, what's going on? What's going on? We know it's a scientific fact. There's this eclipse, and the sun and the moon are equivalent in their diameter from Earth's perspective. Scientists don't know why, but it is. So we shrug our shoulders. But when you watch that eclipse, bring some offering to it. Bring some offering of something you want to heal in your life. Something from the past, something from the future. Something that is about not just healing others, but healing yourself through forgiveness. And I'll explain that in a moment. Bring an offering of sorts. As you watch and observe the sun disappear and everything turns dark. And seriously, the crickets will start creaking, the frogs will start croaking, the birds will go crazy. I've experienced one in my life. That was in 2017. It was beyond words. So when that happens, think in terms of the idea of faith. That even though something might seemingly disappear, it will come back brighter and better than ever. So your personal need to heal, we all need to heal, of course. We can put it out there as an offering to the God of our understanding and saying, please lift this from my shoulders, lift this from myself, and allow me to have that stasis, that moment of quiet, that darkness where I don't know if it's coming back or not. There's that mystery. There's a mystery about the eclipse. Is it really coming back? Is the light of the world really coming back? Well, you'll see at 3:18. It's a phenomenal experience, but you can make it what you will. So we astrologers get excited because this eclipse is not just the sun and the moon together in the sky. We also have a planet, Void, which is an asteroid, Chiron attached to this solar eclipse. Chiron was discovered in 1977. Was anybody around in 1977? I want to remember some of you were born then, or maybe later. I remember 1977. 1977, those late 70 years were the years of finding oneself. Remember that? I got to find myself. The divorce rate went up. I'm not saying that's going to sound like a good thing, but what it did statistically. People were finding themselves. People were finding yoga. They were finding eating right. They were finding chiropractors. The reason why I bring this into the discussion tonight It's because Chiron rules alternative healing modalities. If you are old enough, you might remember when chiropractors were considered to be quacks. And gosh, if you go to a yoga class, you're really weird, right? Everyone ever do yoga once, maybe? Okay. So Chiron was discovered, and simultaneously in 1977, there was the back to personal self recognition and responsibility for one's health. Because yes, the word chiropractic comes from the word Chiron. Chiron was a mythological creature which couldn't heal himself. He was wounded. He was wounded, and he didn't know what else to do, but the gods rewarded him with perpetual immortality, and the sky is a sign and symbol of unselfish caring. Okay, what are we talking about Chiron for? Because it's in the same degree, friends, as the solar eclipse, which is very rare, very unusual. When you look at your astrology chart and you get confused, you see all those numbers. Those numbers are simply placeholders on the ecliptic. They're just where the planets or the suns and moons are located. So 19 degrees, 54 minutes is where the sun, moon, and Chiron will be linked on April 8th. So the natural discussion and description of this eclipse is a healing eclipse, And so we can do our personal healing. And I'll tell you where it falls in every one of your charts. In just one moment, I actually wrote some notes. Well, okay, piece of paper. These are my notes. So I'll give those to you in just a moment. So I'll tell you what part of your charts is going to be healed. But right before I came over here this evening, a friend of mine sent me a quick text, and she said, wow, Washington Post is saying the same thing you're saying. I said, what? She said, oh yeah, they're talking about this eclipse as an opportunity for healing. I said, oh, so I quickly read the article. And in the article, you can read it, the Washington Post, they're talking about the eclipse is a personal and collective healing opportunity because for 3 full minutes, the Americans are not going to be worried about, say it with me, politics, say it with me, fear, anger, depression, anxiety, inflation, all that stuff. They're going to be looking like this, beholding the universe's wonder. That is a collective experience, which can be very healing. Speaking of the US chart, the United States of America has a birth chart. And in the birth chart, the Chiron in our country is at the same degree of this eclipse and the same degree of the Chiron, which is another one of those cool synchronicities. So really, our country is in need of healing collectively, but we can do a lot of individual healing for ourselves at the portal of change on April 8th. Think of it as a doorway you're going through. What do I need to heal about myself? Why self? Because it's an Aries, and Aries is the sign of the self. Me, myself, and I is a definition of Aries. Any Aries sun sign people in the room? Okay, great. I know we have an Aries moon sign person here, but every one of you have Aries somewhere in your charts. If you don't know where Aries falls in your chart, I have homework for you. Go to my website, upper right-hand corner. It says, discover your personal chart. It's in little letters. You go to that, it'll give you a free chart, and you'll see where Aries falls in your chart. Because that's the part of your chart that's being healed with or without your awareness. Potentially, because it's always free will. So here's the description. If you are Aries or Aries rising, the eclipse is healing you organically, your sense of self, your sense of identity. If you're Taurus or Taurus rising, the eclipse is offering some healing tools for your intuition, your psychic abilities, your ability to pray and meditate and relax. If you're Gemini or Gemini rising, it's helping you heal your relationships with groups. If you are Cancer rising or Cancer sun, It's helping you heal your responsibility in the career sector, especially that which commands leadership abilities, feeling more comfortable to be a leader. If you're Leo, Leo is asking you to heal your truth and to travel and to expand your awareness. For Virgos, Virgo sun or Virgo rising, it's helping you heal your inner self on a deep level regarding your sense of psychological or spiritual power and letting go of that which no longer feeds you. Libra or Libra rising, your relationships are being healed in the way you connect with others. Scorpio, you are healing your health, in your health house, or the way you do your work. Sagittarius, you get to heal the inner muse inside. Bring out the inner child and come out and play, Sag. And have fun. Heal the need to have fun. Capricorn, Capricorn, this is the eclipse for you to heal family rifts and forgive family issues. Aquarius, time to heal your relationship with time and any negative self-talk. And last but not least, the Pisces friends, healing your self-esteem. You're worth it, you're worth it, you're worth it. And yes, you can make more money, Pisces. That's a real Reader's Digest form, my little notes here. But it gives you a compartmentalization of the gifts of the eclipse. They're multifold, but they're specific to your charts. All right? And then the other thing I want to say about this eclipse, healing, and that healing comes from forgiveness, and it comes from generosity of spirit. Those of you who know my work, I work with something called Sabian symbols. You can look it up online. But once upon a time in 1928, there was an astrologer and a psychic medium. You can see why I like this story. I like to do both, right? So the astrologer and the psychic medium were wanting to serve humanity. They meditated together, and they came up with 360 word pictures which described those 360 degrees on the wheel, the mandala of the astrological chart. So 19 degrees is this word picture, friends. And you might want to play with this image this week. A young girl is feeding birds in the winter. The innocence of generosity, the feminine caretaking of a little girl who's feeding birds, nature. Where can we be generous in our lives? Where can we give? Because it is in giving that we receive, and it is in giving that we heal. So that's an image. You just play with that image, because that's the word picture that's being activated on Monday. All right, so with that, I could probably talk to you all night. We have so many wonderful things to do. But I will say I'm apologetic with this. I'm going to have to sneak out a little early or at times. I do this thing, Facebook, in Australia at 8:30, so they expect me to be on time tonight. But I want you to just think of these glasses as a way to have a different perspective after the eclipse. You'll see things differently. That's my hope and prayer for you. And with that, have a happy eclipse, a good one. Thank you.
Thank you for that insight, and that it's always exciting when you explain how this astrological environment applies to each of us, and also just tuning us into this vibration of healing. And I hope we all remember that when we see the eclipse through those special glasses you were wearing. Thank you. Thank you for your devotion. At this time, it's our collection time, and a place of worship is grown on love and strong intention. We ask for your support as we strive to grow in love and understanding. As the baskets are passed, we invite you to offer both your spiritual and monetary blessings. Ushers will come forward. And as they are passing the basket, I invite the congregation to sing three little birds that you set in your gonna be all right. What a message. Right. Thank you. We are grateful for these gifts. May their blessings grow as this place grows in faith, in service, and in the healing power of love. Thank you. And thank you all. Sound effects. All right. And now for announcements. Classes are popping up in the spring, right? Like spring flowers. So I'll be telling you about a selection of them. Join Angie App for Intuitive Development Circle on Zoom every other Tuesday at 7 p.m. A guided meditation is followed by a lesson to help you connect deeply to your natural intuitive abilities. The next circle is Tuesday, April 9th, day after the eclipse. Okay. Weekly in-person Vesper service resumes this Sunday, April 7th at 6 p.m. at Fellowships of the Spirits Lakeside Learning Center in Cassadaga. Mark Thomas, who was our speaker last month, is speaker at the service on Sunday. Join Becky Wisniewski, and she did the reading today for the Spiritual Book Club and Discussion Group on Thursday, April 18th from 6:30 to 8 p.m. locally at Santosha. April's book is There's a Spiritual Solution to Every Problem by Wayne Dyer. And that man produced so many wonderful books. It'll be held at Santosha, 8201 Main Street in Williamsville. Register at santoshaholisticcenter.com. Fellowships of the Spirit is offering spiritual insight training with combined parts 1 and 2 in 4-day sessions this summer and fall. This experiential spiritual retreat offers learning about meditation, healing, and developing your own intuition. It's available in person with Mark Thomas and Angie App on July 18th through 21st, or August 15th through 18th, or September 19th through 22nd. Other fellowship classes coming up are Past Life Regression and Soul Blueprints Workshop with Angie App on Saturday, April 27th. This workshop will guide you in discovering how past knowledge can enhance your life today and what in your past life may be holding you back in this life. It's available in person or on Zoom. Become a Medical Intuitive is an in-person 3-day workshop with medical intuitive Tina Zion. You will learn precise steps to become a medical intuitive practitioner during this training on June 21st through 23rd. If you love music, there is a certification in sound bath healing with Master Sound Healer Kirk Jones on July 27th through 28th. It'll let you immerse yourself in the sacred sounds of the Himalayan-style singing bowls while learning ancient and modern healing techniques. If you don't want to care to be a practitioner, he's also offering a workshop where you can just enjoy the healing nature of the Himalayan-style singing bowls. And he requested that this be in person. And that too will be at the Lakeside Learning Center. And last but not least, Master Astrologer Cassandra Butler is excited to teach 2 all-day workshops this August, including the ABCs of Astrology. It's available in person or on Zoom. For more details about these workshops as well as others, sign on to Fellowships of the Spirit website and look under the keyword events. There are more things, good things coming, right? And I am going to turn this service over, the rest of the service, to Angie for message. You're welcome.
Thanks, Irene. Okay, so this brings us to the message portion of our service. I love this part. We are given for healing purposes and always for your highest and best. I'm going to call mediums up. Okay, they're going to say, can I come to the lady in white or whatever? So I'd say, look down and notice what color you have on. Okay, they might ask you to say your name, just say your name out loud. And the other thing that God, as we open the door to communication in unity of the Holy Spirit, the great I am presence of the universe, we give thanks, for we know that the words spoken are filled with your love, truth, wisdom, and understanding of the highest. Amen.